Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to Spiritual Psychics TV and your fortnightly edition of Collective Consciousness, streaming live to you via YouTube. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at Spiritual Psychics TV. We are very, very honoured, as always, to have you on board with us this evening. Please be conscious, guys, that as we are streaming live from YouTube, for you to interact with myself and my lovely guest medium here this evening, you will be required to subscribe to a YouTube account. Now, that's dead easy to do and takes literally a couple of minutes to set up. So whilst I'm going through all of the house rules, for those of you that don't have a subscription, I'm getting tongue-tied because I've got spirit coming in already. Those of you that don't have a subscription to YouTube, please do just nip off for a couple of minutes, set that up and come back and rejoin us. There is a 10-second delay when you are placing your comments in the live chat that you will see just underneath the graphics on your screen right now. So do please be conscious once again when you are placing your comments to us receiving and vice versa. There will be approximately a 10-second delay there. So Collective Consciousness is a show that is completely dedicated purely to mediumship, where I get the fantastic opportunity to introduce a new guest medium every fortnight. How lucky am I? So not only do I actually have the great privilege of working with all of your wonderful souls that have departed and made their journey into the world of spirit, but I also get to work with some of the most fantastic souls that live here on earth amongst us. Please do share us out there, guys. Please help Spiritual Psychics TV grow. It's easy for you to do. If you look once again just at the graphics underneath the screen here, you will see a swirly arrow icon, and that will allow you to copy and share or paste that link to your social media pages. And if you like what you're seeing, do give us the thumbs up. You'll see the thumbs up icon once again, just adjacent to the swirly arrow icon. So do let us know where you are watching from today, whether that be the UK or indeed overseas. It would be wonderful to know who we've got on board with us. And saying that, producer Richard, should I say a few hellos? He's being difficult here this evening, guys. Righty ho. So we've got David Paul Priestman. Good evening from sunny Manchester. You are very welcome, David. Thank you for joining us here this evening. Natalie Bennett is saying good evening, Bill, Karen, Richard, and SPTV family with smiley faces. Welcome, welcome to you, Natalie. Thank you for joining. And Drak is saying hi, everyone. Hi to you. Thank you for joining. Emma Rigby is saying good evening, everybody. Good evening to you, Emma. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. And Lauren is saying, hello, Bill, Karen, Richard, and everyone. Good evening to you, Lauren. Thank you for joining, my sweetheart. Yvette Skinsley is also saying, enjoy, everybody. Yep, let's have a fantastic show this evening. Put it out there, guys. Ask your loved ones to come through. And we've got Glynis Huskins, who's also saying good evening. So good evening to you too, Glynis. Jamie Skinner's with us, also saying hi. Hello there, Jamie. Thank you for joining. And Ashley A is saying, good evening all with a virtual hug. Ah, bless you. Virtual hug coming back your way. Vic Bull, hey, Bill, hope you're good. I'm very well, thank you, Vic. I hope you are too. And the lovely Mary Dixie is also saying good evening to Bill and to Karen. Producer Richard, should we bring Karen on screen so she can say a few hellos? Absolutely. Why not?
Hello.
Hello there, Karen. How are you? Thank you for joining us on Collective Consciousness.
That's okay. I'm glad to be here. It's a pleasure.
I've really been looking forward to working with you. And for all those of you that are watching here this evening, I saw Karen working a couple of years back on a spiritual retreat weekend. And I was just totally amazed with your delivery of mediumship, Karen. And I actually said in my head to Spirit, I'd love to work with her one day. And thank you very much, Spirit. Dreams come true. So I'm so blessed to have you on board, Karen. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so of course I remember that spiritual retreat weekend, and it was a wonderful weekend actually. Really good fun as well. And yeah, sometimes spirit can take, a bit of time to bring things together. So I'm glad that they've managed to do so. But yes, I'm based in Scotland, as you can tell by the accent, most likely. So if anyone doesn't understand me tonight, that's fine. I can repeat everything that I say. But yeah, I've been doing mediumship now for quite a few years now, maybe 14, 15 years. But as you know, Bill, as well, when you work with spirit, they've always been there. It's just when you go out and work with them, it's different, and it takes you time to do that sort of thing in life. So yeah, I've been working with them for quite a few years now. Absolutely love my work. Absolutely of the same heart as you are as well with mediumship. So I'm looking forward to tonight too.
Perfect. And tell me, Karen, have you also served overseas? Because a little dicky bird tells me that there's American links here somewhere. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was over last year. I was over there the year before as well. I go to Michigan and New York. And so, yeah, I've got many clients over there now, which is lovely as well. And actually, especially during this, these difficult times where everything is online, it's been wonderful to be able to do it this way to connect. But yeah, there's people from all over. So I've been really, really blessed, really lucky to meet so many people.
Yeah, and it's absolutely right in what you were just saying with regards to us being able to reach out all over the world. Yeah. And it's wonderful that this evening, as you said, you're all the way up in Bonnie, Scotland, and I'm all the way down south in London. So it'll be fantastic when we attempt to do a conjoined link later on this evening, just to see how fantastic our spiritual connections are and what it is that we can bring through for somebody from a loved one up above.
Absolutely. And there is no, you know, and I know, and a lot of the viewers tonight will know as well, that spirit are there. So you can be where you are, I'm here, and the spirit link is still there. They still come forward and give us what they need to give us to make that link for their loved ones. So it'll be great.
Sure. So, Karen, where can people find you? I know you've got your own Facebook page. So where is it that they can get you on Facebook, my lovely?
So my Facebook is Karen Docherty, Spirit Medium and Psychic. And my website is www.kdmedium.com.
Perfect. Thank you very, very much. So, Producer Richard, would you like to bring a few hellos up on the screen so Karen can do a few acknowledgements there, please?
Yeah, I can see Charlie there. So nice to have you on, Charlie. Bill, your energy is just fantastic. I absolutely agree, Charlie.
I'll wear myself out.
Yeah, Glenys in Staffordshire. So it's nice to have you on here as well, Glenys. Thank you for joining us. And hey from Dundee. So nice to have you on. That's just a stone's throw away from me. So that's all good. And Alison Barton, Somerset, originally Sutton. Lovely to have you on here as well, Alison. And we have a Karen from Aberdeenshire in sunny Scotland today. It has been quite sunny here today. We've been lucky today. And Patricia from Chicago. So there's the point proven there, Bill, that, you know, doesn't matter where people are in the world, they can tune into this. So it's really wonderful.
Absolutely. She's very, very welcome as well. We've also got Lewis Kirkwood, but it's his mum saying, hey, or hi, Bill, Eminette here, using Lewis's account. Well, you are very, very welcome, Eminette. Thank you for joining us here this evening. Debbie Gallagher is also with us saying, good evening, Bill. Good evening to you, Debbie. And Wendy Lindsay from Guiding Senses. She's saying, hello, Karen, first time seeing you.
Hi, Wendy. So nice to meet you on here. And Veronica Jenkins as well. Hi, Veronica. And Michelle. Hi, Karen. Nice to meet you. It's so lovely to meet you as well. Welcome to SPTV, Karen. That's from Terry Wall. It's so nice to be here. I'm so glad Bill's asked me to do this.
It's such a beautiful community, as Richard was telling you prior to us coming on screen and going live here this evening. We've got so many people that are members of the SPTV community, or family as we like to refer to them. So it's just wonderful. There's so much love and so much encouragement. And the thing that I love about this show is that when we're actually delivering messages and someone's in receipt of it, everybody is just so supportive to that person that's getting the message. Isn't that wonderful?
It really is. I think it makes a difference, doesn't it, within this work? But just, you know, even if it's not specifically about this, it's so nice to be able to connect with each other and be supportive. I think it's just really what's needed all the time. And I know it can't always be that way, but it's nice on a community like this to see that. Definitely. Absolutely. So we've got Jeannie Roz from East Coast USA. Good evening to you. Keely says, evening, Bill and Karen. Can you see my comments? Have subscribed. I'm down in the UK. Well, Keely, I'm reading them. So you have obviously subscribed correctly, my lovely. So you are welcome on board here this evening. Okay, Richard's just whispering in my ear, guys. Just please do make sure that you are using the live chat, not the topic chat. The live chat is the stream that will actually feed your comments direct to us here at SPTV. And Kim C is saying, hi, Karen. Love, Kim. Hi, Kim. So nice for you to be on here. Thank you.
Oh, bless. And Lynn Taylor's good evening from Canvey Island. Good evening to you, Lynn. So, guys, thank you so much for all of your wonderful, wonderful comments. I'd love to sit here all night and acknowledge you all, but if we'd done that, we wouldn't get no messages through for you. So, Karen, if you're okay, what I'll do is I'll start off with our first guest that's already started to conjoin their energies with me here this evening. And once I've done my delivery of message, I'll hand over to your very capable, perfect hands. How's that sound?
That's perfect, Bill. Thank you.
Okay. I'll see you in a moment then. Righty-ho. Okie dokie. So I'm very, very conscious that I have an energy of a gentleman that's been making a connection with me prior to me going live here this evening, guys. And the first thing that this gentleman done with me was he actually placed the taste and the visualization of a monkey nut. You know, where you would break the husk of a nut and you would take the nut out of the shell and eat it. He was actually placing that with me. As I'm starting to get him to start conjoining these energies with me now, okay, he's also just working on those taste senses with me initially. I can taste peanut brittle he's putting into my mouth as well. So I know there was a great love for loves and all of these crunchy, savoury peanut nut treats you would understand that this gentleman liked. Okay, I also get an understanding and also a sweet taste coming through, and it's honeycomb, which is actually in large chunks, which is coated in chocolate. So he's bringing these through for me as memory links, memory identification. But as he's doing that with me, he's also just giving me a great understanding that I want to be acknowledging him as dad, you would understand. As he starts to talk to me, the first thing that he's talking to me about is his outside gloves and not wanting to have his hands feeling so rough, you would understand. With this gentleman, as he starts to show himself and he starts to make himself more known to me, I can say that I want to stand around about 5'11", 5'12" with this chap, okay? I want to wear the Pringle-style jumpers. I want to wear the Farrah-style slacks with him as well, you would understand. I want to be torn and go towards navies and greys for my dress colouring with this gentleman. I know that he would have loved a white shirt as well, okay, because he's just talking to me and showing me a white shirt as he's doing so, okay. I do feel that I want to be saying with this gentleman that I was quite fully built, okay. I feel with him as he's actually starting to impression himself on me somewhat, that I feel quite full in my frame with this gentleman, okay. I can see that Lacey Mar, you're saying my dad loved monkey nuts and Bombay mix. Perfect. I wonder, my darling, if you can also relate to the other information, the other evidence that he's been bringing through here. So I know I have to be conscious with regards to the seconds delay here. If you could just continuously just work with me by placing your comments in the feed, and I will continue to work with the vein of this message with this gentleman as he's conjoining more so with me. I want to break free. He's playing that song in my head, that song from Queen, I want to break free. Okay, so I know that there would have been a love for Queen or indeed Freddie Mercury music with this gentleman, or indeed you as the recipient can identify to the lyrics of that song about wanting to break free. Okay, the other thing that he's doing now is just making me want to close my hands here, and I'm going to bring them up so that you can actually see them on screen. Okay, so what he's doing is he's actually saying to me, here's the church, here's the steeple, open the door and there's the people. Okay, so I know that this would have been significant in your younger days with this gentleman as well. I know that that is some type of relevance. I feel as though I would have been doing this in a jovial manner as well. Not really with the height, etc. He was taller and more skinnier than Bill. Okay, then, Lucy, my darling, then let me see if there's anybody else that relates to this information. But thank you very much for coming forward initially on that link there for me. I'm hearing as well as he's starting to work with me, the dripping noise of a tap. I'm feeling and understanding the dripping noise of a tap and the sensation. So I know I need to be drawn to a leaky tap, or indeed there's some type of issue in and around water with the recipient who can understand this link here this evening. Richard, I don't know if you've got anybody else that's actually relating to the information right now. So I will continue to work until... Okay, Spirit of Love. You can relate to all of this, but he wasn't as tall. Okay, all right. So let's just set the height to one side, because I am sitting on the chair and I was looking up at him, and you know, us men, we don't measure inches particularly well either. So let's just put that to one side for the moment. And what I do want to say is that he's actually placing as well 2 and 6. Okay, so I don't know if I need to be drawn to 26, or indeed I need to be identifying 2 and a 6. But those of you that know how I work as a medium, when I get 2-digit numbers, I like to add them together. So if I'm adding the 2 and the 6 together, it's giving me a total of 8. And when I work with numbers between 1 to 12, I relate those numbers to the month of the year. So 8 would take me into the month of August as well. Okay, so please let me know if that is identifiable to you. Sarah Matthews, my lovely, you're saying you can take this so far. Sounds like your dad. Okay, please just tell me if you can relate to the 2, the 6, the 26, or indeed by me doing my little bit of a mathematician brain set there with regards to adding the 2 and the 6 together and actually taking me into the month of August. And Spirit of Love, you're saying my name is Amanda, and Amanda, you're also relating to this information as well. Perfect. So we've got 2 of you that are actually taking the link so far, which is absolutely fantastic. What I'm going to do, 3 of you, I'm being told now by producer Richard. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to work with this gentleman a little bit more. I just want to get the essence and the feel of him now. Okay, I want to bring through a little bit more information so that I can narrow this down and know which one of you lovely people it is that I'm actually working with. I know that I need to identify that there would have been issues with my head. I know that I've got a headache as this gentleman draws his energies closer to me. Okay. Okay, Spirit of Love, your birthday is in August. Perfect. That's what we like to hear. And also Sarah. Okay, so we've got 2 of you. Okay, not a problem. Let me continue to work. I wonder if one of you can relate to this issue of this headache that this gentleman's actually just placing across my forehead here. Okay, I feel as though it would have been something that he would have actually suffered with. Okay, I feel as though I want to be talking about migraine situations here as well as I'm actually sensing this. Okay, so please just do let me know through the comments box there, ladies, whether or not you actually relate to that part of the information as well. I just want to say that when he's placing these outside gloves, and as I refer to them as outside gloves, I know that I would have put these on to have done manual work outside. Okay, as he's putting them onto me, they feel really restrictive, quite tight. Okay, as he's doing so. So I know that there would have been an issue with regards to these gloves, or indeed there would have been some relevance with regards to the reason why he's doing that with me. And as a jovial piece of information, he's just dropping into my mind. I just want to be sat with like putting a flower in my hair, and I can't talk. I don't have hair. I know that, guys. Okay. But I just feel that I just want to be putting a flower in my hair, and I just want to be pulling a funny face with this gentleman as he's doing that with me. And I feel as though I just want to be taking you back in your memory. I want to be taking you back in time to this scenario as he actually places that around me. Okay, I do get a great understanding with him as well as he's conjoining his energies a little bit more so with me. Yes, he was a park keeper. Perfect. Okay, thank you, Sarah. All right, can you just relate to the headaches as well, Sarah? If these aren't with Dad, could you please then relate to these headaches being placed around you? Because he's just not taking that off of me at this moment in time. So I know that that is significant, and I know that I just need to be identifying that with you, my darling. Okay. Let me just see what else I can get from him, what else it is that he wants to talk to me about here, because I just feel quite drained. I feel actually quite lethargic with him as he starts to impression somewhat more so on me, you would understand. Okay, I feel what he's making me understand here is he wants me to relate to his later part of his days here on the earth plane before he would have made his crossing back home. He would have made his journey home to the world of spirit. Okay, and also what I just want to be doing is, for some reason, Sarah, I do feel as though I'm being drawn to work with you more so now at this present moment, my darling. Also, what I just want to be doing is I just want to be holding your hand. Okay, Lynn Taylor, you're saying my birthday is 26th of August. He had bad headaches, loved his garden. Okay, thank you, Lynn, for coming forward. But as I say, I do feel as though I am on this link with Sarah. So please do take from the message what it is that you can, and take that in love and light. Always, please, my lovely. So, Sarah, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ask him if I can just have a little bit of relatable information for you, my darling. And what he's doing, as I'm asking him to give me that, is he's actually just taking me back to that song that he first brought in here with regards to I Want to Break Free. So I know, yes, he had headaches towards the end. Thank you, sweetheart. I know what I need to be doing is I need to be placing this song around you, my darling, and wanting to break free. So I know that I feel, as he's giving me this information, an element of frustration around myself right now, okay, and wanting to break free, which I'm sure a lot of us can relate to. I know that's very cliche during these times at this present moment, but you would understand about just wanting to have that little bit of freedom. Okay, I feel as though what I need to be saying is I just want to get away from it all at this moment in time. I just need that time away just to recharge my batteries. He makes me understand, my lovely. And again, if this relates, please do let me know via the comments section there as well, please, my lovely. Okay, let me see what else I can get for you. Okay. I also feel and understand a very harsh dryness to my throat with him. Okay. He's just placing that around my throat area right now. So I know I need to be identifying that dryness, that huskiness to my throat. It's your favorite song. Thank you, my darling. I knew he was bringing that forward for a reason there for you. But please just tell me why he's making me want to identify to this huskiness, to this dryness, to this area of my throat that he's taking me into. I know that this, again, is some type of relevance with information. And also, he just wants me to talk to you about your ears being hot as well, because he's making my ears feel very warm right now, my darling. So please just let me know if you get that real sensation of your ears burning, because I don't know if you can see, but it's making mine go really red right at this present moment in time. So it's just making them feel very hot there, my sweetheart. Okay. And then what I'll do just before I actually send him back off up to the angels, just while I'm just waiting for that final bit of information. Yes, he had COPD. Thank you, my darling. Just while I'm waiting for that final bit of validation and confirmation from you, I'm just going to get you your parting gift from him. Okay. Because it's always lovely to get a parting gift from your loved ones before we send them back up on their way, because they've made such an effort to make this communication here this evening, and it's such a lovely parting gesture for them to do, to work with us. Okay, what he's just doing with me, Erin, my lovely, is he's actually just talking to me about pens. Yes, I am now, lol. Okay, my lovely. All right. What he's talking to me about is pens. He's placing pens into my mindset, okay, as a gift for you. I'm asking him, why are you giving me these pens? Okay. What I do want to be saying to you is I know that there's the importance of not writing with a red pen. Okay. So I know he's dropping that information into my mind for whatever reason that will relate to you and you understanding. Okay. But also, what he's doing is he's working me with these pens. He's taking me back somewhat myself, where I actually want to identify to actually, you know, just having a vast collection of like felts and getting really excited with regards to stationery. So I don't know if he's bringing that forward for you, or indeed if there's a younger member of the generation of your family directly linked to you, where I'm getting very excited about getting all of my stationery prepared and all of my pens prepped. Okay, my darling. So I'm just going to leave that piece of information with you. And again, I'll just keep an eye on the comment section just to make sure that that totally related and you understood, because if it doesn't, I need to go back and check and ask why he's placed that into my mindset in a symbolic fashion. So whilst I'm patiently waiting, I'm just going to have a sip on my pint of gin. It's water, really. Okay. And again, guys, just while we're waiting on that last piece of information to filter through from Sarah, please do share us out there. For those of you that have just recently joined that might not have been with us from the start, please click on the swirly arrow icon just underneath the graphics. It will allow you to copy the link and to paste that onto all of your social media platforms there, because sharing is caring after all. So Sarah, what I'm going to do as I'm waiting on your information, I will just keep an eye and I will just keep a checkout for that as it filters through, because I can see in the background that Karen's getting ready to start opening up on her link. Oh, and here we go. It's just dropped through, because I can never find one when you need one. And my daughter does a lot of writing. Perfect. So please do take his love. And I will say, God bless you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with your loved one. God bless. So Karen, I'm going to hand over to you, my lovely.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Okay, so as I'm just sitting waiting here, and obviously as mediums, you know, we put that thought out to the spirit side of life a little bit in advance sometimes, just to ask them to join us and come in. But always they wait till I'm opening my mouth to speak before they decide to join me, which keeps me on my toes. So as I'm putting those thoughts out there to Spirit, I know that I'm linking with a lovely lady here. I know that as a link with her, to me, she feels to be mother for the person I'm needing to speak with tonight. So this is a mum that I'm connecting with in spirit. As she comes in, she does make me feel as if there was deterioration for her before she passed. So it wasn't a sudden passing for this lady. I can sense with her that she did have a little bit of a battle, but she makes me more aware of like the lining of the lung. So I feel like there's one lung that's maybe inflamed, or fluid in one lung, specifically in one lung is what I can feel. So, you know, these conditions can always radiate to other areas and things, but that's what she's making me feel just as I link with her. Now, she's also talking about two girls as well. So either two daughters, a daughter and a granddaughter, but two females she would be very close with in life too. There is also a boy, she tells me. So I know maybe 3 children, a boy, 2 girls is where I'm needing to place that also. Even though she was in hospital, and I do feel she was in and out of hospital coming to the end of her earthly life, I do feel like she always wanted home. She always needed to come out. She always needed out. I can see Sharon there on the screen. You think it sounds like your mum. Can you relate to everything, Sharon? If you can just, again, place a little comment there just when you can. And like Bill said, I know that we'll have a bit of a delay, so I'm just going to keep giving information until I get that. But yeah, very strong lady, very determined lady, not a lady to take things lying down at all. So I know it was very difficult for her to have that condition. And in some way, I do feel like she would be in charge. You know, she would be the one telling the doctors what was going on, or she would be the one making the demands what she wanted. And I do believe that was home with her family. Teresa, I can see that you said it sounds like your stepmother. Okay, so let me just work just for a second. Desiree sounds like my nan, who was like mum to me. She had 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy. Her lung collapsed. Okay, so there's 2 or 3 of you coming in. So let me just get another piece of information. Now, Sharon, yes, she wanted to pass at home, but sadly died in hospital and can take it all. Okay, so out of the 2 or 3 that have jumped in there, I'm just going to give you another piece of information and to see if it can break that link slightly. But I felt like she was showing me trophies of like someone who would do dance competitions or someone who would compete in some element. And it's almost like the won trophies or the won these medals or something. I feel as if that's quite important as well. So I see Glenys, you can take it all as well. So I think we've got quite a few. So I'm just going to see if any of you can take the trophies or the medals or the competing, and I felt that was more for the person here that I need to speak with or their family. So I didn't feel that was for the lady in spirit. But she's, you know, when we connect with them, the information doesn't stop. It's like a flow. But I also feel as if I'm talking about Scotland, so it might be that she had connections here or the family have connections here. But I kind of feel like there's a Scottish feeling about this too, like a link to Scotland. So let me just repeat the information until I can see some comments coming through. So this is a very strong lady, very determined, definitely a lung condition or the lining of a lung. Teresa, she had 2 daughters, 1 son, suffered COPD, died in hospital, was desperate to get home. Okay, Teresa, can I work with you? Because I actually feel very drawn to you just as you've come back in there in the comments. So if the other ones can also listen in, just in case, as we say. But let me just speak with you, Teresa, and see. Now, if you can place in the comments, Teresa, whether you can, yeah, my husband, who was my dad, played football and had medals and cups. That's fine. Now, Teresa, I wonder if you still got those, some medals or some cups, because to me, it felt very important to mention that. And I feel like they were cherished. I feel they were looked after as well. So maybe they're still here or someone's got them. The other thing I wanted to say as well is, although she was in the hospital, I do feel like you expected her to deteriorate. The family knew that this was taking place, but I feel with her, if she could have just kept going to get home, that would have been her goal. She's not saying that to me so that you feel upset that she never got home, but I feel more to put your mind at ease that she was fine when she crossed over. Now, I know that you're saying yes, that I can work with you, Teresa, and that's absolutely lovely. Now, I also feel like she's a lady who would definitely take care of her family first. So very family orientated, definitely wants to keep her family close. But she was making me feel like there was someone that was out with the family or maybe distanced from the family in some way, either emotionally or physical distance. Yes, I have. My dad was proud. Okay, so that's perfect. And we did, and you're so right. Okay, I've got to remember what I've said now. That's always the hazard of the medium. But that's fine, Teresa. I'm glad you can take all of that as well. Did you understand, Teresa, about the distance for someone? Like, I feel like it's maybe more of a conflict. So I'm sensing there that she is letting me know that things haven't been easy, or there's maybe someone in the family that's had a bit of a tough time or something. But I felt like there was a little bit of a conflict. So I'll keep an eye on the comments to see if you can understand that, Teresa. She is a lady who would not want that. She is a lady who would want her family together, but she also understands life, and very much so. And I also understand, Teresa, that she's very spiritual. She's got that spiritual way of thinking, so she doesn't judge people. She's very kind to people. It would just be her way. But if you got on her wrong side, you would know that you got on her wrong side as well, because she is a lady that would dig her heels in if she needed to and tell people. Yes, she parted from my dad just before she died. Okay, so that would make sense then to you, Teresa. Now, I won't say that she's a lady that would have regrets as such, because your mum was a lady who would definitely feel like she would just live her honesty as best she could. And Teresa, there's got to be alcohol connected with someone as well, because I can smell alcohol coming in here. So it doesn't need to be to your mum. It could be somebody here or someone else in spirit, but I can smell it quite strongly as well. So for me, that's an alcohol influence, if you like. Yes, she did. Now, I don't know if that's to the yes, lol, that's fine. Sorry, I'm just watching the comments and listening to her at the same time. That's fine. So you can understand all of that as well. So you can let me know about the alcohol as well, Teresa. It was heartbreaking. Absolutely. But this is what I want to say to you. I feel as your mum comes through, your dad, that's fine. As your mum comes through, Teresa, I want you to know that she is in a strong, strong position. She's came in here. She's talking about the celebration birthday. Now, every birthday should be celebrated, as we know. But for me, it's a special birthday, Teresa. So I feel like round about now, there's like an 18th or a 21st or a 60th, but for me it's a special birthday that I'm picking up on. And she understands people can't really celebrate at the moment because of the way things are, but she is definitely a lady who would want everyone to celebrate as soon as they can. So if you could let me know if you can understand that as well, Teresa. She's telling me the month of May as well, so it could be something in May. Your dad was an alcoholic, sweetheart. Okay, so I know then if your dad's in spirit, it would just be him pulling in a little bit as well, just as I feel your mum. And although they had, my dad loved her so much, I think, and she loved him. I absolutely get that, because I was just going to say to you, even though they had parted ways, that's not the feeling I get, Teresa, either. So I do want you to know that there is very much a love there between the two of them, and that really matters, I think, to both of them as well. Yep, the alcohol as well with your dad, Teresa. I just want to say, your mum knows that created problems and created things, but your dad's a good-hearted man. You know, your dad is a good-hearted man. Or you just had your 60th, Teresa. Well, that's lovely that they're saying the happy birthday to you then and want you to celebrate that as well. There must also be something in May, because I know that I'm drawn to May, just as I gave you that information too. So there must be another birthday in the May time as well. The other thing I want to say before I hand back to Bill is, you know that your mum's there because you've seen her. She's letting me know very strongly that you've seen her, maybe within dreams. Teresa, I'm just reading your comment. My husband just died and his birthday's in May. Okay, sweetheart, let me just see if I've got your husband just pulling in as well. Okay, I just always want to open up. Although your mum is the one that's linking with me, that doesn't mean your husband's not there. With your husband, sweetheart, I do feel like it was a bit of a shock. So I'm feeling like, I know that you've said he's recently passed, and I'm so sorry for your loss that way, but I honestly feel like I wouldn't have said that he was 100% in great health, but I do feel it was a shock. So I'm feeling like the family's still in shock, or there's still a feeling that you can't believe that it's taken place. Now, your husband's very strong as well, but your husband definitely is a gentleman that would bite his tongue, I would say. So he processes things inwardly. Sharon, I see your comment, sweetheart. I'm glad you can take this as well, sweetheart, and it might just be the two things linking in together. But I do think I'm working with Teresa just at this point in time. Teresa, your husband, I feel, is a man who would inwardly process things. He wouldn't want the family to worry. He wouldn't want you to worry. I feel like he did a good job of taking care of the family, and he was stubborn. Teresa, I'm getting feeling that he was a stubborn man. So sometimes he would dig his heels in as well, or he would be the one to be thinking a certain way and doing things a certain way, but a hard-working man. And I honestly feel like he loves you so, so much, Teresa. And I know sometimes that goes without saying, but not always. So I want to tell you that that's what I feel coming from him right at this point. Now, I also want to say, Teresa, that he's around the boy. So I don't know if you've got a son, or there's a little boy here that would connect with the two of you, maybe a grandson or son, but I feel like he's around the boy. That seems very predominant as he's bringing that in as well. So I will keep an eye on the comments also, Teresa, and see if that makes sense to you. It's so important that I can get this, you know, that you can understand what's coming forward to get the right message over. There was nothing, I can hear your husband, there was nothing that anybody could do. Yes, he did. You're describing him exactly. Thank you, Teresa. I feel as if there was nothing that you can do. It was a shock, and it's COVID, okay? And in these times, you know, it's so hard to hear that as well, and for families to go through. I am so sorry. But I wonder if he was actually admitted into hospital, because I feel like there was that feeling of being pulled. And you've said that your son's in spirit as well, so you'll be around your son there in the spirit side. He needs you to know, Teresa, that there was nothing that you could do to change what happened, because I know that you're still going through these things in your mind about what happened. Could he have got to hospital sooner? Could they have done something else? And he's making me feel like there was nothing anybody could do. It was just the way it was. So he is in spirit. He is with you. He is with the family there, your son. And your mum's brought him in, which is so lovely. Teresa, I'll just read this comment. And I have a grandson who has autism, and they had a very special bond. He is heartbroken. I have got no doubt that he's around your grandson, sweetheart. I've got no doubt in my mind that that's where he is. And I know you've said he was in hospital, so I know you understand everything. Teresa, I wish I could stay with you all night to get you what you need, but please, I hope that you can take from what I've brought through that your husband is there, your mum's there, your dad's there, and they are all around helping you through this hard time, sweetheart. Your husband wasn't always good at remembering anniversaries or being overly romantic, I feel is what he's saying, but he's blowing you so many kisses right now, and he's letting you know that he is with you, and he hasn't left your side, sweetheart. So I do hope that really helps you, Teresa. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect. Thank you. And I'll hand you over to Bill.
God bless you, Karen. That was such a beautiful, beautiful message. Lots of healing going out to you, lovely Teresa. God bless you. I'm glad you got the message that you so desperately needed. That was wonderful. Thank you, Karen. God bless you. Okie dokie. So I'm going to work with this lady I've got that's just standing in the wings here in just one moment. But let me just say a couple of hellos and acknowledge a few other people that have joined us since we've gone live here.
Okay.
So we've got Pamela Roger with us there, Karen, saying good evening, Richard, Bill and Karen and everyone in the chat.
Good evening, Pamela. Nice to see you on here.
And we've got Janine White saying good evening.
Good evening, Janine.
Queen Eora saying hi, Bill and Karen. Hello there, Queen Eora. What a lovely name.
Lovely name.
And we've also got Angela Harrison saying hi, happy to be here. We're happy to have you here with us, Angela.
Absolutely,
God bless you. Thanks
Angela.
for joining.
Hi, Lisa from New York. It's nice to have you on here, and you're saying hello to Bill. So nice to have you here.
Welcome, Lisa. Thank you for joining. And we're saying a quick happy birthday to Terry's daughter, our lovely Terry, who does so much work behind the scenes on the SPTV fan page. She is having her birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday to your daughter there, Terry. Hope she has a wonderful day. And Sabrina's also saying hi. So hello there to you, Sabrina. Thank you so much for joining. Right, let me work with this lovely bundle of energy, this lady that I've got here with me, because she's saying to me, hello, love, as she's coming close to me. Hello, love. She says, I was a little bit chubby. She says, and here, and this is how she's talking to me. She's saying, here. So I know that there's a London connection with this lady. Here, she says, I want to talk about the varicose veins in my legs. So I know that she's starting to instantly just give me bits of information about her individually. I feel as she's starting to blend with me. As I say, she's told me she was a little bit chubby, God bless her. I would have put it in a completely different context, but I'll go with what it is that Spirit want me to do. Okay, I just want to say that I'm feeling a little bit more rounded with her, okay? And I do feel quite short with this lady as she starts to join her energies with me. She does make my legs feel swollen. She does make my legs feel swollen. So whether or not she was doing that with me to identify to the varicose veins that she wanted to bring close into my mindset, I'm not sure. But what I do feel as though I need to be acknowledging with her is that there would have been some type of blood clot that would have been paramount around my passing, you would understand. She talks to me about blood clots, okay? So I know that I need to bring that information through. I feel and understand the way she's working with me, okay, that I want to be quite instant with my passing. I'm acknowledging this lady as being a mother and a grandmother, you would understand, okay? A mother and a grandmother, okay? I can see that, Jamie, you're saying sounds like your aunt. That's absolutely fine, Jamie. Just please let me know that she was indeed a mum and she was a grandmother. Natalie Bennett, you're also saying sounds like your nan. She's a right bundle of energy. I have to say that as she comes close to me. She does give me an understanding that I need to be acknowledging the trips and the falls with her, okay? Because if she's doing that and she's bringing herself a little bit closer, she's making me want to fall off my chair at the moment. So I know that she would have been really unsteady and there would have been these trips and falls that she's just bringing into my mind so that you are able to identify to this information that she's so kindly sharing with me here at this moment, okay? I want to say with this lady as well, that she makes my mouth feel really, really moist. Okay, she's giving me a real moist sensation within my mouth. Generally, okay, Jamie, you're saying, yes, she was a mum and a grandmother. Okay, darling, continue to work with me, okay? What I'm saying with this sensation that I'm now having placed in my mouth and how moist it actually feels with me, okay? I need to be acknowledging the way that I was hydrated. The way that I was hydrated. I feel as though there was some type of situation that was going on around me where it was important for me to be hydrated. It's almost as though what I want to say is that she's given me an understanding of people just constantly giving me these drinks because I would forget to do it. I just couldn't be bothered to do it, she makes me understand, okay? And that's why she's placing this real moist sensation within my mouth. So please do work with me here, ladies, and just let me know if that part of the information indeed relates with you there as well and it sits well. Okay, I don't want to have particularly long hair with this lady either. Jamie, you're saying she did have a blood clot. Thank you very much. I knew that there was some importance of why she was giving me that information. Okay, I feel with it as well, you would understand and identify too, that I feel as though this would have been traveling around my body. It was almost as though we would have known about this, okay, and we were having to keep a constant check on things, okay. But I just feel that the way she's conjoined and the way she's making me understand that all of a sudden everything was just quick, just like that, okay. And I feel as though I want to be within my own home as well with this lady. So whether or not she's making me understand about being in my home when I pass, or indeed wanting to be within my home when I pass, because I'm feeling like I'm a real rooted bird as she's talking away to me. And as I've spoken about birds as well, I feel as though I need to be making a reference to like caged birds as well, you would understand, like budgies and canaries, because I'm hearing like the chirping that's going on at the back of my mind. Sponge in her mouth, so you was making it moist. Okay, my darling, thank you. Can you also identify why she's just bringing those lovely little tunes and melodies of these birds close to me here, my darling? Because what she's doing as well, she's just showing me millet seed, which would be placed into a cage for the caged birds to eat. Okay, and I'm just acknowledging that there's an awful lot of mess that's going on around me with this millet seed that she's placing here with me. Okay, so do let me know if that relates, because if it doesn't, I need to understand symbolically why she's popped that into my mind there, okay? She's just making me burp, as spirit often do when they come close to me. Okay. Do you know what, as well? What I want to be saying is that I just want to be very fierce. I just want to be very fierce and set in my ways, and not wanting to budge an inch. Okay, I don't want to budge an inch. She talks to me about. Okay, so I know that I would, although I would have been this very vivacious, very lovable, happy-go-lucky character, I was very, very set in my ways. Yes, just like that. Okay, my darling, thank you. And I was very set in my ways. It was at her daughter's. Okay, sweetheart. Okay, but you can understand about her being ferociously independent about her own home as well. Okay, because I just feel as though, you know what, I want to be adamant and I want to stay firm and I want to be set in my ways where my home's concerned, and always feeds birds. Perfect, thank you. I knew that she was just placing them into my mind for whatever reason that may be. And again, as long as you can identify to that, that's absolutely perfect. You know what I'm also getting with her as well, God love her, she's actually placing, as she's working on my smelling senses here, she's actually placing the scent of like the TCP ointments. Okay, I feel as though I need to be acknowledging some type of bandages that would have been on my legs as well with this lady, because she's just drawing me down into my legs, as indeed I'm actually picking up on the smell and the scent of the antiseptic, the ointments that I would have used on. I feel as though I want to acknowledge a few sores here with this lady as well, because she's just making me feel prickly sores that are just running up and down my legs here at this moment, and she's just giving me that part of the information. Also, what she's doing as well, she's making me just want to rock somewhat backwards and forwards. Okay, she's just making me rock backwards and forwards here. So I know that I need to acknowledge, with regards to this lady having a little bit of a nervous disposition, or not being able to sit still, and having this rocking motion that you can understand and relate to why she's doing with me here, my darling. And again, let me know if this relates by placing it up in the comments there. You can't take the TCP. Okay, she's just placing that smell, and it's almost as though I feel as though I want to be dressing or placing that around some type of wounds. Okay, so if you can't actually take that as a condition that she's wanting to place on me with her, then can you please understand why I want to be placing that around you? It's almost as though I just want to be healing wounds. So whether or not that's in a physical sense, or indeed she's just actually now making me acknowledge that that would have been in a symbolic sense about healing your wounds, you will understand, because it's almost as though what she's making me want to do is just dab these sores, these prickly sores, just to get rid of it. Okay, so it's almost as though I'm now acknowledging that there's a removal of something that's relevant going on around you. Okay, my darling, so please, again, just do let me know if that actually relates, and you can understand now why she's worked that way there with me. Okay, I do feel as well with this lady that there would have been some type of suffering around my chest area as well, because she just pulls in, she just makes that feel just a little bit on the tight side as she's working that little bit closer here with me, my darling. Okay, and what she wants me to do as well, she's making me want to touch my yes, thank you, darling. Okay, she's just making me want to touch my cross. She's making me want to pull my cross out. Okay, she's making me want to identify about the cross. She's making me, I feel as though I want to be talking about Church of England. Okay, I feel as though I have to say it. I've just heard Church of England. I don't want to say that this lady would have been by any means been a totally religious person, but she just makes me want to understand about having that belief and that faith in God. Okay, I feel that that was very relevant for this lady to have an understanding with regards to some type of belief as well before she would have made her crossing over into spirit, because you would understand with this traveling clock that she's trying to make me be conscious of, that, you know what, there was that awareness that was going on within her mind. She wasn't nobody's fool. She knew what was going on in the back of her mind. Okay, whether she let on to you or not, you would understand. Okay, because she just tells me that again as she starts whispering away in my ear. Okay, she was always at the Spiritualist Church and she always had a cross. Perfect. I knew that was some type of relevance and why I had to bring that out and bring that forward. But what I also want to be doing, she's just given me your gift before before I've even asked for it, because she's keeping me on the vein of a cross. And what I want to do is I want to place a cross around you, my darling. But what I want to do is I want to have it all blinged up, okay? I want it to be really sparkly as I'm placing this with you, okay? So if this is not in the physical sense that you can understand why I want to be placing that belief around you within God, and indeed taking you into the spiritualist churches. But also I want to be adding that little bit of bling around you, that little bit of sparkle around you. It's almost as though it's time now for you to start to acknowledge your own worths and your own spiritual worths as well, that this lady is bringing forward here for you, my sweetheart. So again, just do let me know if you relate. I know that there is a gentleman just stood in the background behind her. I know that this gentleman was waiting to receive her on the other side and welcome her into the spirit world. I feel as though I need to be acknowledging him as her father, you would understand, okay? And as this gentleman actually just makes himself a little bit more known to me now as well, you would understand that I want to have a very tall stance with this gentleman, okay? I just want to have a very tall stance, and I just want to have an incredible presence about me, okay? There would have been an absolutely energetic presence about this gentleman that would have actually have defined him as an individual. And he's just coming in just that little bit closer, just to make himself self-known, okay, just to make himself aware, okay, and just to acknowledge that he was waiting on the other side, your granddad. Thank you, my darling, because you would understand about these conversations, he tells me, that she would have spoken about, that she would have shared about this gentleman, okay? Yes, he was tall and it was her dad, perfect, okay? I feel as though I'm just getting the essence and the smell of tobacco underneath my nose with this gentleman as he's coming in closer. So I know that I would have had either the hand rolling tobacco, that I would have either rolled a cigarette, or indeed I would have put into a pipe with this gentleman, because he's just making me want to make my own cigarettes. Okay, he was one of a kind. Perfect. Okay, that was just a very brief visit that he just came in, because he's just coming off the back of her lovely energy, and they just wanted to make that connection there with you. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, he tells me. Do not be surprised if I feel you know this already. I feel as though I'm just affirming this for you now. Don't be surprised that he is actually waiting to work with you. I feel as though this gentleman will be a close guide communicator for you if you're not already working with him and you're not serving spirit in the sense that we are as mediums here this evening. And yes, he smoked. So please do take all of their loving energy, their beautiful messages that they're bringing forward. Oh, hold on a minute. She's saying to me, hold on. Please, can you just take as well pairs with this lady, because she's just given roll-ups, perfect, because she's just giving me pairs, conference pairs, okay, real juicy succulent pairs. So I know she would have loved eating pears, this lady. She's just bringing it forward as a memory gesture to give to you, okay? I know that I need to acknowledge that. And for some reason as well, what I also want to be placing around you is sherbet. But when I'm placing the sherbet around you, I want to be making my own sherbet lemonade. I want to actually just get a glass of water, and I want to tip this sherbet into the glass of water and make my own lemonade from it, okay? So I hope that relates and you can totally understand that message there, Jamie. I will say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity of working with your loved ones. I will leave their loving and their energy with you and say God bless, and I will hand over to the lovely Karen once again.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. It's always different just sitting listening, and you forget that you've actually got to work. I'm sitting listening to you, Bill, and I'm forgetting I have to come back on and work. But because we're open to spirit now, because the communication's flowing and spirit building that energy link all the time, as we do that as mediums. I was aware just before you handed back to me, Bill, that I have this lovely young man with me, and as he's here with me, I feel like he's someone's son. So I feel like he's looking for a parent link more than anything else. As I connected with him, I did feel that he was quite lost in life, and he had a hard time. I do feel like there was also addiction issues for this young man as well. Now, I would say that I'm feeling that he would be maybe around late 20s, maybe into early 30s, but around that age bracket as well, as I connect with him. And I'm just waiting for him to build up just a little bit more here as I make this link. I feel with him that it was he passed to spirit at his own hands. I feel that's how he crossed over, but I'm feeling as if it could have been to do with drugs as well. So these are the two things that I'm picking up, and I'm just going to take my time with this and see if anyone does connect. Just because of the nature of the way that he's coming in as well. So I'm going to keep an eye on the comments. So please just let me know if even this small part makes any sense. So it's a younger male that I've got here. I would say maybe into the late 20s, early 30s perhaps. I can feel with him that he had addiction issues. I do feel that there would be drugs connected with him. Now, I feel that he's very humble as he comes in. He's very loving as he comes in. Jeannie, I can see that you said that's your son. So let me just get a bit more information and we'll see what else. If you could comment there, Jeannie, to see if that everything I'm saying makes sense, that would be lovely. Authentic Shorty, drug overdose ? Well, I do feel it had something to do with drugs as well, but I did feel as if he had lost his way and he was just at the end of his tether with things as well. So I can sense that too. Jeannie, he died by his own hand, not suicide, 31. Okay, that's absolutely fine, Jeannie. Just let me keep going with you. I am going to work with you, Jeannie, because again, I feel very drawn just as you're speaking with me there in the comments. I feel like I'm getting pulled in. So let me just work with you, Jeannie. But again, anyone else can also listen and let me know too. So I know you've said he's 31. That would make sense for the area and the age bracket that I'm pulled with. Jeannie, would you understand drugs overdose? Okay, sweetheart, would you understand that he was a bit lost in his life? Now he knows he was loved by you and by his family. I have to make that very clear as he comes forward. I feel like your son is so loving and so lovely. I honestly feel he's got such a warm heart. He just lost his way in life a bit. And I know that I don't want to minimize what went on, but I also feel that I can feel his true essence, and I know exactly who this boy is, and he's wonderful as he comes forward. He does understand, and as he knows in looking back over his life, he understands that there was conflicts there for him, again, through his own action, and he definitely takes that responsibility on his shoulders. So I feel that as he gives me that, it's because he doesn't want you to feel or question or wonder if there was anything else that could have been done. Jeannie, you said he looked younger. That's absolutely fine. I can feel from him that he's of that younger age bracket, and I can feel from him like he actually, when he was in his element and he wasn't in those tough times in his life, I do feel like he was funny and he was quite, I say cheeky in Scotland. I don't know, some people can take that as in a bad way, but it's a good way. For me, it's like he's got jokes, he says what he means and he makes everybody smile and he gets away with things because he's just got that good way about him. And that's how he comes in here tonight. He's upbeat. I want you to know that, sweetheart. You're saying you're crying. And please, I know this is going to be emotional for you, sweetheart. And, if at any time you need me to stop, I will see that in the comments box as well, okay? But it's just to let you know that he's so glad to connect with you, and I can feel that. Jeannie, I know that there must have been times where you didn't see your son coming to the end of his life, or it was hard to reach your son, because I can sense that maybe you would want to say words, or maybe you would worry about him as such, and he wasn't reachable. He makes me very aware of that as he comes forward as well. Lots of people knew your son. Lots of people knew who he was. Lots of people knew him. He is saying it in a way like, yep, some good, some bad. So he, again, accepts that sometimes in his life he would make poor choices, or he was maybe with people that would make poor choices. Jeannie, you said, yes, he made funny videos. That doesn't surprise me, Jeannie, because he is a character, and I can feel that character. And because he's not in that pain of the earthly life, because he's not in that, that situation, he is him, and I need you to know that that's your boy that's here, and he's funny, and he's cheeky, and all the things that I've said, and very popular as well, Jeannie, very popular. He makes me very aware to tell you that it wasn't anyone's fault. I feel as if there must have been a relationship difficulty for him as well, Jeannie, where maybe it had a separation, or maybe his relationship separated, and that was hard for him to take. But I feel there was some form of relationship difficulty. So I'll watch your comment for that as well, to make sure that that's accurate as I give you that. But he even isn't saying that in a way like that was to blame. I just feel like that's the way it went after that as well. Yes, he was loved, but he made bad choices. Jeannie, absolutely. And you know, people make mistakes in life, and people have poor choices in life, and that's life. And again, that's not minimizing it, but he really needs to make it clear that he is in all of his glory, that you would know him as your son, and that you would remember him and know him by heart. And that's the way he comes in. Now, his birthday just passed. Okay, Jeannie, thank you for sharing that as well. I have to say to you, Jeannie, it makes me aware of a tattoo or tattoos. I know that people get tattoos now, so I don't know if you've got one in his memory or whether he had them. He does make me feel it's on the arm, maybe the inside of the arm, so I can sense that as well as he's showing me that too. And just give me 1 second. There's a baby that's come. There's a baby that's come here to the earth since he passed. There's a baby that's come here since he passed. Jeannie, yes, with his brother who lived with me. Okay, that's perfect. Now, this baby that's come here, I feel he needs you to know that he's around this baby. So I feel like there's celebrations about a new birth, or a new birth just to come shortly, and he wants you to know that he's part of those celebrations and part of life going on. And that is the way he's saying it, like life does have to go on, but he is very much with everyone. So please don't think that he's not there. And I think because of the difficulties he had, it's sometimes difficult for you to think of him in that good nature and in that okay place. But I promise you, he absolutely is. His brother got one for him. That's the tattoo. Thank you, Jeannie, for verifying that. The other thing is as well is I feel like he moved, like he was living away from home, or he had moved maybe to a new area, or living away from home. And again, I feel there's questions that come in for you about maybe if that hadn't happened, or maybe if he hadn't have lived there or moved there or something. There's all of these questions in your mind sometimes. But I'm going to be very honest, as I always am when I'm working, and he is making me very aware that you knew within your heart that maybe there would come a time where he was finding it extremely difficult to do with the drugs, or to do with his life choices. And he knows that you felt things on a deep level with him. He knows that you felt things on a deep level. So I know that we talk about mother's instinct, but some have got, you know, some people have got a high intuition, and I feel like you've got that high intuition, and you did have that for him as well. Stephen, his sister had a baby. Thank you, Jeannie. We'll know he's around the baby as well. Stephen is a name that I can hear very clearly. So Stephen, that name. So again, I'll watch the comments, but I can hear that coming in as well. You know, on the flip side of things, Jeannie, I think that times run through your mind of where there was tempers frayed, and you know, arguments, and trying to pull him back to you so that you would do the right thing, and all of these emotions that were affected by what was taking place. And he's saying, just let's wipe them. He is trying so hard to heal you and heal the family, and he is healing. So you're all working together. You're all working from the same energy pool, and you're all working together on that. Let me just keep connected with him, just come in a little bit more. You know, one time I feel like he did work, and I feel like there was this, I feel it was manual work. I wonder if he liked to do up cars, or there was something about mechanics, or he's showing me changing wheels and tires, and I can smell the tires on a car. So I feel like he was either around that kind of, you know, situation, or he done that. Yes, exactly. I was supposed to go over to his house, and I didn't that night. Jeannie, this is why I feel he's bringing this in. Like, please don't go through what ifs in your mind. I know it's the most natural thing to do, but I promise you, like, I can't say that was supposed to happen. I don't believe in saying that. It's not something as a medium I can take on, but I will say to you that there was nothing you could have done to change what was taking place. So I hope. Stephen was his uncle. Thank you for verifying that as well. So I know that he is around his uncle also, so there must be a connection between the two of them as well. Jeannie. The other thing I wanted to get verification for was the wheels, the tires, the chain, the mechanics, something like that. Someone must have a garage or someone must do that kind of work, or he done it, because he's making me very aware of that as well. He's clapping his hands as well as he's getting more and more excited here. I can feel him clapping his hands, and I kind of feel like there would be a bit of music about him as well, you know, where he would love music. There'd be certain types of music that he would adore as well, and you all listen to his music and know that you're connecting with him when you hear that music too. I'm firing information at you, Jeannie. I'm so sorry. I'm watching for your comment. The other thing I wanted to say as well was you must be looking out to the garden to see, you know, some people talk about robins or birds, messengers. He's making me aware of that. I see he worked on cars with his late father. Okay, sweetheart. So I know that that's a great memory for him working on those cars, because he made that very prevalent in my mind. But there's something about the robin or seeing the bird in the garden, and you keep looking at it, or you keep seeing this and feeling, is that a symbol? Is that a message to let me know he's all right? And absolutely, he's influencing these things so that you can take those messages and know that he is okay. Now, I know you said his father's in spirit as well, so I'm wondering if his father might step in. If it is his father that I'm picking up on as well, Jeannie, I wonder if his father passed first and he had difficulty with that grief, or whether there was difficulty with him and his dad when they were both here, because I can sense that things weren't always easy either. Yes, so I think that was about the robin. I didn't see the comment before that. I'm too busy speaking away here, but I'm glad you can understand that. So yeah, there was difficulty between him and dad, or there was difficulty for when his dad passed, but there's something about him handling life, him handling that in life as well. I see that he was certified with cars. That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you for verifying that as well. He's saying, you know, he's got rid of any anger, he's got rid of any hurt that was in his own life. He sent hundreds of birds that flew around me. Okay, sweetheart. So take his messages and take those as symbols of spirit, you know, some messengers, and believe what you feel in that moment. Believe what you feel in that moment with him. Yeah, he's got rid of anger, he's got rid of hurt. That's gone. That's gone. He's taking me down to the water side. Now, I don't know if you live near the water. I'm right on the coast here in Scotland, but I don't know if you live on the water, or you walked by the water, or you walk by the water and think of him. But I definitely know he's shown me the water lapping at the sides here, as if someone's in deep in thought around the water, or it brings memories back to do with the water. So I hope that makes sense. You've said his father passed first, he saw his body. Okay, so that would make sense for the grief. I just feel it was a lot for him to handle as well, Jeannie. So if you can also, I mean, he will be there with his dad. I absolutely want you to know that. Don't be of any doubt about that. But let me know about the water. I've just seen Adrian. This is a major piggyback message from my brother. Again, yes, you know, they can be very close, especially if they're very similar situations, and it just Spirit's way of getting messages out there to their loved ones. So thank you for letting me know. Yes, we live near the beach, Jeannie, that's it. So these memories as well come back into. Can I just add again, just before I leave you, I also feel as if roses or rose petals would mean something. I don't know if you've put roses into water, or there's rose petals, or roses would be significant. I know it's a popular flower, but that's what I'm seeing, so I have to give you that as well. I feel like the roses are very significant, Jeannie, so I hope you can understand that as well. But know that your son's celebrating life with you all, and I know that that doesn't make up for anything. I know that you're all hurting about him being there instead of here with you, but I promise you in spirit he is here with you, Jeannie. I've got no doubt about that. He is funny, cheeky, he's clicking a camera now like he's taking pictures. You know, he wants to take pictures of you, or you've been looking through pictures of him, but there's something about the camera as well. And I feel like even on photographs, it would have been pulling some funny face or doing something quite random, just to make everyone laugh, because that's who he was in life. That is who he was. The latter part of his life, you can't write it off. It's an experience that you've had, and you had to go through that. But I promise you, he is in a great way in the spirit side. He's healed, he's better. I see that he grew roses, so I know that that's significant too. Thank you for your verification, Jeannie. I know it's difficult when it's this kind of link, but I absolutely promise you your son is with you. I absolutely promise you that, and I hope that you've enjoyed just those, you know, those minutes of communication with him. Thank you so much, and I will hand you back to Bill.
Oh, that was such a beautiful message, Karen. Another beautiful message. God bless you, Jeannie. I hope that brings you love, guidance and comfort where needed. God bless you. So, Producer Richard, what have we got coming up on the show tomorrow? Okay, so we've got the lovely Bev Mann tomorrow at 2 o'clock with her show Exploring Your Awareness. So that's 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, same place, different time, with Bev Mann Exploring Your Awareness. And then tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, you have the lovely Ashley Robinson with his programme Being Spiritual. And that's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, same place on YouTube, with the lovely Ashley Robinson. There's always a show on every night at 8 o'clock with SPTV. So you always know that when you're looking for something to do, come on board Spiritual Psychics TV, 8 o'clock every day. You'll find something really interesting to watch and to follow. Karen, it's been absolutely wonderful having you here with me this evening, working and delivering our independent messages. Do you think we should try and attempt to do a conjoined link for somebody who's watching this evening?
Well, we can always try.
Do you want to open up?
Yeah, okay, so let me just see who I've got coming forward then. Okay, so I've got a lovely lady stepping forward. Now, as I link with her, again, I would have to say that she is mother or grandmother, but I felt more towards mum with this lady. I do feel as if she was within her 80s when she passed the spirit world. I do feel she is making me aware that she was elderly when she passes. I can sense with her as well that there would have been either a residential home that she would have stayed in, or somewhere that she would need a more full-time care on some level. And you know, I feel that was difficult initially for her, but I feel that she's settled. I feel there was that settled feel about her too. She's very much a lady that would just take things as they came. Yes, difficulties with health. I do feel it was one hurdle after another, and something in her blood, like there's something to, I think maybe to do with the thinning of the blood. Maybe there was a thinning of the blood or something within her blood that was an issue for her, and she was medicated. So these are the first initial things that I get. Now, I wondered if she was trying to connect with a son. I felt like I really wanted to be drawn to connecting with a male or a son on here tonight. I don't know if you want to jump in yet, Bill, or do you want me to?
What I'm picking up on as I'm conjoining is, I feel it's really relevant to talk about some type of impact to my head, because she's just making me want to hit my head as well. And that's what I'm sensing, and that's what I'm feeling as I'm opening into this link. I just feel as though I need to acknowledge a knock on the head or a bang to the head with this lady. And with that, I've just got a real sense of disorientation, a real sense of confusion that's going on around me, and not having a great understanding, if that makes sense. So I just feel as though I'm very disorientated, and I don't know whether it's night or day. It's almost as though I'm so dependent on somebody to just give me the reassurance and the understanding, and I feel as though I just want to keep asking Repetitive questions.
Yeah.
Repetitive questions. Repetitive
Yeah.
questions. Okay.
Yeah.
We've got Diego that's saying my granny passed away of a stroke.
Okay. I just want to add in there, Bill, I completely understand where you're going with that, because I wondered if there had been a bit of dementia actually at some point as well, just as I was sitting there linking out. But I also know that I'm being made very aware of living by the sea. So I feel like there's memories of that. I don't know that that's what was happening latterly in her life, but I feel like it was almost as if she was saying, I'm by the sea again, because she loved to be by the seaside. So I know it's like a coastal town that I felt I was with this lady, and that was her love. That's where she loved, and I feel she brought her family up there, and these were all the good memories until things went the way they went with her health, which were difficult. So I was sensing that as well.
Yeah, I just get a great understanding that you were talking about there being some type of condition with blood, and I wonder if the recipient can understand, because I'm just getting a great sense of that my disorientation is due to the oxygenation within my blood levels. I feel as though there's not enough oxygenation in my blood levels that's kind of like given me this feeling and this sensation and this understanding of disorientation. Debbie Gallagher is saying her mum had a brain tumour. Debbie, I wonder if you can just relate to the fact of the other information that both Karen and I brought forward. Mum lived by the sea. Okay, perfect. Again, we'll just be patient to see what else it is that you can feed through on the link there. And Karen, I don't know if you've got any other information that you'd like to add into that.
Yeah, I also feel like, I know I said that I felt she was talking of a son. So if the son isn't on here tonight to do the communication, it might be that she has a son. But I was feeling as if there was a son who worked with paperwork or file faxes, that kind of thing as well. Excuse me a second. I think you'll have to take over for a second, Bill.
No worries. Okay, so I just feel, as you said about this filofaxes, I just feel as though I need to be relating to paperwork being of some type of significance around the recipient who's taking this message today. I feel there's a great organisation that needs to be put into place around you. You would understand, with the organisation of not only just your files, but the organisation of your life as well. So it's almost as though I'm being drawn into a great importance and understanding of legalities of paperwork that need to be set and just laid out just so. Okay, it's almost as though I want to file these in a legal sense. Okay, Debbie's saying, Karen, she has 3 brothers, so there's the brother connection there as well.
That's fine. You have to excuse me. I was feeling sometimes when spirit come very close, you can feel every sensation, and I was sensing with her that there must have been pneumonia or a real feeling of the lungs being affected, because I can sense that very, very strongly. Excuse me. And I know that that's hard. Obviously, when these conditions come forward, it's difficult to kind of convey them. But when they come so close, you don't have a choice. So I feel like there was like I said, pneumonia or fluid in the lungs that was quite rapid as well. And I do feel it was more or less the family being told that things have deteriorated rapidly and to try and get there. And I don't feel everyone could get there. So I wonder if, again, someone lived further away, but I don't feel everyone could get there.
And Debbie's just saying that 2 of them were policemen. So I wonder whether or not, Debbie, you're relating that to the fact of this legality type of paperwork that I was actually picking up on. So there must have been a legal sense with regards to documenting evidence down that's just been brought forward. James Mullen saying, Anna Mullen, my gran was in her 90s, was on blood thinning medication, had a fall before she died, lived in a coastal town, very close to her son, whom she lived with in her later years. So it looks as though there are a couple of people that are actually relating to this message, and Debbie saying yes at her end as well. So I would say, I feel as though I just want to continue to just work on the vein of the message with Debbie, but I just want to acknowledge everybody else that's kind of like come close and said that they can have an understanding to some of that information as well.
Yeah.
I will hand back over to you, maybe Karen, if you feel that that's correct. So maybe just finish off the message. Yeah,
I absolutely feel that that's correct, and I know that we're doing this double link, and I do feel that we're connected with Debbie. Fluid in the lungs took her in the end, brother could not make it, so that makes complete sense, Debbie. Thank you. But because James jumped in there to tell us about his grandmother, I also felt just very quickly that James, you're named after a James in the spirit side, because I felt as if there was a link there for you as well, James. So that name must go back in the spirit side as well. So I don't want to come away from Debbie, because I know that we're linked to Debbie, but just as you popped up there, James, I just wanted to say that also. Debbie, I really feel with her that, you know, as much as it was hard for her coming to the end of her life, and hard the way it was for the family as well, I have to tell you, if I needed someone in my corner to fight a battle, I know that this is the lady to do it. So I do feel as if there's such a strength about her as she comes in. I don't know if you have memories of a grandfather clock. So one of the tall grandfather clocks is what she's showing me as well. So it must be a memory for her again, either where she lived in that residential home or in her own home. But I feel like that's quite significant. It might be that you hear the chimes of a clock and it takes your memory back to that time. But I definitely sense that there's something to do with the chiming of a clock. And I don't think it's a church bell. I feel like it's a chiming of a clock, like an old clock. So I wonder if that would help you come back with memories. I see James, my uncle, her son, a prison officer. Okay, James, so I know that you're getting the shout outs from Spirit as well. The Spirit will always know when we're coming to the end of a demonstration or something. I think you hear everyone at that point. But Debbie, I hope you can understand that as well. I hope you can understand the clock connection to it. It just feels very special to mention it. So it might be something that warms your heart when you hear it, Debbie.
That's lovely. And Debbie's saying absolutely like a lioness. So Debbie, thank you so much for allowing both myself and Karen to work with you. We will leave your mum's love with you there, and also to James for stepping forward as well and taking some of the message. And just before I leave, I just want to say to James as well. Oh, Debbie's saying Granddad had a grandpa. Yeah. Perfect. So there's the link there. And James, I just want to give you, my friend, a cinnamon swirl as a parting gift, because I'm just getting the taste of a cinnamon swirl being placed into my mouth that I know is some relevance around you, indeed, my friend. Okay, not within spirit. So God bless you both. Thank you so much for working with us. Karen, it has been an absolute privilege and honour to have the opportunity to work with you. Thank you so much for joining me on Collective Consciousness.
Thank you, Bill, and likewise. Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
God bless. Just once again, just let everybody know where it is that they can find you on social media.
Okay, so on Facebook, it's Karen Docherty, Spirit, Medium and Psychic, and website-wise, it's www.kdmedium.com.
Perfect. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Collective Consciousness. Your next edition will be coming up on the 11th of March. Again, you can find details of who will be joining me on the show if you come over onto my Facebook page, which is Bill Hughes Psychic Medium. And you can also follow me on Instagram under Bill Hughes Psychic. So once again, Karen, God bless you. Thank you so much for working with me. Producer Richard, as always, thank you so very much for this possible. And all you guys for joining us and kind of like continuously supporting Collective Consciousness SPTV on our journey. Once again, God bless you all. Until the next time we meet, may the love and light of spirit be with each and every one of you. God bless. Good night, everybody. Take care.